Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got the PWM Mantis in front of me, a new synthesizer that has a lot of character. I've got MPC3 beta software loaded up on the MPC1 Plus, and we're going to experiment with auto sampling 8 layers. Real quick, if you enjoy this content and want to support it beyond a like and subscribe, consider using my affiliate links below for things like synthesizers, MPCs, or any studio production gear that you're planning on using. Thank you very much. So with the routing, I have the outputs of the PWM Mantis going directly into the MPC. I also have the USB cable going directly into the MPC, which is supplying MIDI information between the two. I have a new project loaded with audio track 1, and I have monitoring set to in, so I can hear this. So the Mantis is a very character-driven synthesizer. It's technically a hybrid synth because the oscillators are digitally created, but they're using the same technique as the Summit and the Peak from Novation. So it's an extremely high frequency rate recreating the actual oscillator shapes. So they sound fantastic. And then everything else is analog essentially, except for the reverb. And I believe the chorus is digital as well. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm keeping it in the studio. We'll see. Only time will tell. But I'm always a fan to try out new synthesizers and see how they feel in the studio environment. But this synth is perfect to try out some stuff with the auto sampler and the 8-layer stuff. I'm gonna take off the reverb. We'll put a little bit of chorus. Let's take down the cutoff a bit. Am I clipping? I'm gonna turn this down just a bit. I feel like it might be a bit hot. On this synth, if you hold shift and then adjust the mix level, it actually adjusts the overall mix going into the filter. It's kind of a hidden little setting. Turn the glide all the way down. So I'm gonna get one note, basically a C3. I believe this is C3. Oh, this is C2. I'm gonna get C2 8 times with the auto sampler and then play it on the MPC and see what we get, okay? So in order to set this up, I do need a new MIDI track. So we'll go new track and then MIDI. And then here we'll go MIDI output. We will select the Mantis. Now I need to set it to the right MIDI channel, which for some reason is set to 16. I didn't set it to 16, so I feel like it came that way out of the factory. Usually it's channel 1. Okay, so we got that. Now if we go sampler and press this icon, we are in the auto sampler. Just gonna get C2, like that. And now we have an option for all these layers. We're gonna get all these. I believe. I don't really think velocity does anything to this, so I'm just gonna keep all the velocity levels like this. Note length, we're actually gonna jack this up a bit. Maybe 5 seconds worth. The tail is pretty short, so we'll keep this at maybe like 500 milliseconds. I'm gonna turn off looping completely on this because there's a lot of character in there, and I want the character every time I press the note. We'll call this Mantis Dirty. It says it's gonna be 44 seconds for that. I do have extend min max notes, so when it makes the program, it's going to extend those 8 samples across the whole keyboard. Let's do this. I'm probably just going to speed this up, by the way, on the editing. Okay, Mantis Dirty, brand new key group. If we play it right now, I have the Mantis on the keyboard turned all the way down. And it's definitely clipping my interface, so I'm gonna have to do some adjustments. But if you go like this, you should get the same sample over and over. So in order to make it cycle and make it more interesting, we have to do some things. So we go into Program Edit. First thing, I am gonna turn down the volume because this seems pretty hot. I'm also gonna turn down the key group polyphony down to like say 8, maybe 6. In amplitude envelope, I'm gonna look at velocity modulation. I'm gonna turn this basically all the way down, maybe 8 or so. That way it feels a bit more like what the keyboard feels because velocity information isn't really responding to dynamics with this. So to make it feel more like this keyboard, taking down the velocity modulation actually makes it feel better. Finally, if we look at the sample layers here, see they're all different, which is really awesome. But in order to make them cycle, we have to go layer play cycle. Now, If we go like this. I'm just cycling through the layers here. And it's playing each one separately as I play it, which is so cool because now I'm still clipping. Turn this down even more. I mean, that sounds interesting. Again, this is spread across the entire keyboard. It's just 8 samples, 1 pitch, which means that the higher notes cut really quick because they're technically shortened. And the lower notes last longer because it's being stretched further. Yeah, it's pretty long. The samples sound great. I'm gonna throw Airsoft Clipper on here just to start and turn down the post level. Drive it just a little bit. Then turn down the post level. That sounds awesome. Sticking with the effects, we are going to put Air Delay Pro on here. Probably turn down the mix quite a bit. Turn down the feedback. Mod depth down. Let's maybe shorten this. Need longer, higher samples. This is way more interesting sounding. Because each one of these notes are playing a different sample, and it cycles through them. So again, this is pretty basic. It's just 8 layers, C2 spread across the entire keyboard. You can obviously add more. Let's do that actually. Let's get something else. Let's go to the audio track. So if I play this, I'm hearing nothing. Turn up the keyboard. Still has a character to it. What I hear in this is the envelopes being so specific. It's really tough to recreate that with samples. Like that. It's a great synth. Let's change up the wave shapes. Let's go sine. Is that sine? Yeah. Maybe triangle. A little bit of drive. I think we'll go C1 all up to C5. Back to our MIDI sampler, auto sample. Go C1 on here, C5 on there. Now the note stride. Do I want it to do an octave or every 6? I guess we'll do that. It'll be the tritone. We will stick with the 5-second length. Mantis try for a triangle. Keep the looping off. All right. I think we're good. 8 layers, 352 seconds. See you in a moment. Whew, okay. Let's have a quick peek. Samples. Looking good. How many key groups? A few of them. So with the key groups, I put all, so I can edit all of them, and put cycle. And I believe that should mean all of them will cycle, which is good. Turn down the Mantis. That's weird. That must be a beta bug. It's like the first time the sample plays. At least it was. Weird. Beta software. Oh, it did it again. Missed one. Let's have a quick peek at the memory. 15. It was at 4%, I believe. So I can confidently say this sounds more interesting. Every note I play really does feel like rather unique. I'm sure over time I could pick out some differences. Time to throw some effects on there. Air Delay Pro. I think that sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna make a quick beat with this. Anyways, I'm going to leave it here. I just want to show some auto sampling in action with the 8 layers. I do think it makes a pretty significant difference, honestly. Being able to cycle through 8 different samples definitely increases the audio fidelity or the realism behind sampling synthesizers that have a lot of character already built into them. I don't think it would really make a difference with like digital synths specifically, just because you're probably getting something that's maybe a bit closer to what it is every single note. But with synthesizers that are definitely giving you something different every time you press the key, it makes a big difference. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, a like and subscribe goes a long way. And if you want to support the channel beyond that, consider using my affiliate links below for any gear that you want to pick up. And I appreciate you making it to the end as well. That is awesome. But yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time for another one. Peace.